Meet Lyman. He's only 6 months old. Believe it or not, this cuddly little creature at the San Diego Zoo is a member of the same order biologically as you and I, and may even be an ancestor. Lyman is a lemur, oldest member of the primate order, which includes monkeys, apes, and man. We have in common eyes that face forward, providing three-dimensional vision, and that most peculiar primate characteristic, a hand. 4 fingers and an opposable thumb that enables us to grasp and hold things in ways that no other creatures can. Today, wild lemurs are found only on the island of Madagascar in the Indian Ocean. But Lyman's cousins, the monkeys, are spread around the world, and their habits and their antics are endlessly fascinating. Monkeys share a common grace. Over 200 species populate the Earth, and they come in a variety of sizes, forms, and colors. The Rock of Gibraltar, last bastion of British colonialism in Europe, also holds the continent's last remaining free-roaming monkeys. By official act of Parliament, the troop of about 40 macaques enjoys the protection of the Crown and the services of Her Majesty's Army. Britain has held Gibraltar for nearly 3 centuries, and over the years, a myth grew that when the monkeys left the rock, the British would have to go too. During World War II, the monkey population dropped to a single pair, and Prime Minister Winston Churchill ordered additional macaques imported from North Africa to shore up public confidence in the continuing British rule of the Mediterranean fortress. Today, the monkeys are still cared and accounted for in the best military tradition. Unable to make the little bloke stand for parade ground inspection, the sergeant in charge takes roll call wherever he can. All the monkeys have been given names. Roger, this 1-year-old, looks a bit under the weather. The solicitor Sarge decides to take him to the hospital for a checkup. The rest of the pack has strong opinions about this bit of treachery. It will be several months before the sergeant will regain their trust. At the hospital, diagnosis and treatment are provided by the garrison's medical officer, and a few days later, Roger is ready to go home. The closest relationships between monkeys and man are found in India, where Hanuman, descended from a monkey, reigns as Hindu god of the masses. Monkeys are Hanuman's children, and throughout most of India, they're regarded as sacred. In many parts of India, monkeys seem to be almost an independent nation. They come and go as they please, establishing residence wherever it seems convenient at the moment. Human babies and children may starve, but the monkeys always get enough to eat. These are langur monkeys, and they're officially classified, even by biologists, as Hanuman langurs. One legend tells how the monkeys got their black faces and paws. Their ancestor Hanuman narrowly escaped being burned at the stake after he had rescued the goddess Sita from an evil monster. His hands and face were scorched, and the marks of his bravery have been carried by his descendants down through the centuries. In most communities, the langurs are treated fondly, almost like naughty neighborhood urchins. But as a general rule, they're encouraged to stay outside. In bazaars and marketplaces, which are the monkeys' prime targets, shopkeepers are frustrated. They'll shout and threaten, but that's about all, for the little thieves are still the children of Hanuman. We think of monkeys as creatures of the tropics, but believe it or not, there are snow monkeys, macaques living in the Japanese Alps of Honshu Island. Adapted to the bitter cold of winter, they live farther north than any other primate, except man. And being Japanese, of course they get special pleasure from Mother Nature's outdoor hot spring bathhouse. Although the hot baths may give the impression that the macaques enjoy an idyllic existence, theirs is a hard life. Every year, several members of the troop, usually older or weaker ones, fail to survive the northern winter. For 3 decades, the Japanese island of Koshima has been the scene of a classic experiment in the evolution of social behavior. Lured away from their jungle habitat by food placed on the island's sandy beaches, the macaques quickly adapted to the new environment. First, a few of the more adventuresome began swimming, but it wasn't long before most other members of the troop joined in. By all appearances, the tree-swinging denizens of the jungle have become sunbathing beach bums. The change of environment and the abundance of man-supplied food created other new behavior. With all that food available, the monkeys found a way to increase the amounts they could carry, a clue, perhaps, to the evolution of upright posture in man. The monkeys quickly learned that dipping their grain or sweet potatoes in a freshwater stream was an easy way to get rid of sand. Later, several began dipping clean food in the ocean. From cleaning food to seasoning it, however, is a greater and potentially more revealing behavior. Scientists believe they dip the potatoes into seawater for no other reason than to add salt, an acquired taste that appears to link the monkey even closer to man. Believe it or not. I confess to a certain vice, or weakness, shall we say, for a fine cigar, knowing full well that smoking can be dangerous to your health, as the U.S. Surgeon General so succinctly puts it. Publisher Horace Greeley put it another way when he defined a cigar as a fire at one end and a fool at the other. Ever since Columbus's sailors brought the